My first question is, how do you see AI like playing a part in taking content marketing to the future?
Wow.
Boom.
Boom, that's an interesting question. Well, AI, first and foremost, is very broad, right? Within AI, you have machine learning, you have a lot of different technology. But my one suggestion, right, because by nature, right, my 30 years of career has been in the technology space. Don't be a problem, oh, sorry, don't be a solution looking for a problem. That's why I say, right? So I think if you look at AI, I think there are a lot of interesting applications, right? It essentially helps you to refine and be able to target, right, from all the disparate data that you have. So in terms of content creation, in terms of content marketing, I believe that there is a good use, but the use case has to be correct, right? And not just say, oh, we need AI and therefore, right, it's force fed, into your content creation, right? I think earlier, I think there were questions about, should we be incorporating AR or VR, right? Virtual reality, augmented reality. The answer is like, if it makes sense, then do it, right? If it doesn't, then don't force fit.
I agree completely because when we get like clients and they're always like, oh, we need an app that does VR and AR and AI. And the first question that people forget is, why do you need it? And it's almost like distilling that down. And a lot of people realize that that's not their actual problem, right? So I appreciate you saying that as well. I think my second question is, what do you think from your experience, from your exposure, and just from your observation, what do you think is the biggest risk people aren't taking in terms of this space?
Biggest risk, I would say, uh, for example, right? If you look at, I came from the media business. Right? I used to work for ZDNet, CNET. So that's what I call online media 1.0. So now I'm in the new media space and 4.0, right, or whatever, right? But I think one of the phenomenon is what we call UGC, user generated content, right? Because in the old days, especially the luxury brands, right, they want to control every pixel that goes into a picture, right? And suddenly they realize that, oops, the world has changed. So I think a lot of brands are, well, at least in the last couple of years, right, are very hesitant. They're very worried about embracing this kind of so-called user-generated content, right? But I think it's shifting. So I think brands needs to take a bit more risk, right? And also partly because the UGC market has changed as well, right? Because of technology, because of a lot of factors. People are more savvy in content creation. The quality, right, of UGC is getting higher. So I see that brands are starting to, but I think they can probably accelerate the pace at which they adopt the utilization of UGC, right? Because for a number of reasons, right? Partly because one, they are relatively more affordable, right, compared to truly professionally produced content, and it brings a degree of authenticity, right, that doesn't exist in many ways, right, of fully branded content, right, and of course, I guess. That itself, the creators themselves also has ability to help amplify those content. So those are good reasons that I think brands should be taking more risk, right, in looking at adoption of what I call user-generated content.
Last question. It's a very simple one, but like, how do you think like summits like CMS help to provoke the conversation?
Uh, as an example, right, I really like what I heard on the panel that I was on. Right, you had the gathering of that so-called brands and then the publishers, right? So we had very frank discussions about the role of a brand, a role of a publisher in content creation. So I think platforms like that, number one, I mean, in my opinion, right, it helps to proliferate. The notion of content marketing is key, right? I think the key takeaway out of here is nobody is going to say, I wasted my time coming here, right? I was surprised that I came a little bit late, but 8 plus heavy thunderstorm in the room was actually quite full, right? Like, oh my goodness, these guys are serious, right, about content marketing. So to me, I'm very heartened, right? And I think it's very timely that we have people like CMS coming here to create, in a way, right, a platform for people to exchange, right, to learn, right. I myself am learning from the participants here, in the network, lunch breaks that we
Interviews.
interviews, to connect with them, right.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, very nice.